Sometimes we call it waiting on God, but really we're waiting on what we want. The difference between his timing and ours can change everything. Hi, ladies. Welcome back to Sparkle and Bloom, where I help women heal from toxic, abusive relationships and step fully into their God given purpose. Today, we're going to talk about God's timing. And the first thing we're going to talk about is how his timing actually protects you. In Isaiah 60:22, it says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." The thing about God is that his delays aren't punishment. They're actually protection and preparation. A lot of times we think that we are being punished, and don't get me wrong, I have been there myself where I'm like, God, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why can't this happen for me right now? And then he so amazingly, as he always does, reveals something to me where I still need to work on, or I still need to overcome or heal or get better at. Sometimes what you want isn't necessarily wrong. It's just right now is not the time for it. Think of a seed by itself. You're not going to think the seed is bad or there's something wrong with it when it's in your hand and it's not blooming. The seed is going to bloom under the right circumstances, with the right soil, the right amount of sunlight, the right amount of water. And then before you know it, it sprouts a little leaf, a little stem. And as time goes on, it starts sprouting more to the point where it starts blooming, and you can see either flowers or fruit coming from that one seed. But the environment, all the characteristics of that environment had to be there for it to happen. And you essentially are that seed. And God is just placing things in your environment to help you grow into the person that you are meant to be in the future, that he has planned for you. You might not see the full picture yet, but he's aligning hearts, spiritual maturity, and circumstances behind the scenes. God is all knowing. He sees everything, and he's going to make sure that you have what you need in order to move on to the next level, the next season of your life. Here are some signs that it's your timing, not his. Number one is rushing out of fear. You feel anxious to make things happen, sending a text, forcing a conversation, or taking back what God asked you to release. Number two is forcing doors. You're trying to open something that isn't opening up naturally. Remember, God's peace always leads, striving never does. If you got to force it, it's probably not good. You know, sometimes we have to take a step back and really just get in tune with God and ask him, God, is this for me? And he will let you know. If you have a relationship with God and you're building that relationship every single day, however he communicates with you, you'll be able to receive that. And God will let you know. And a great prayer to pray is God, please open the doors that are meant for me and please shut the ones that are not. And he will do it. He will close those doors and open the ones that are meant for you. Number three is ignoring red flags. You call it faith, but deep down you're settling for confusion instead of peace. God never intended for us to be in bondage. He never intended for us to be in an abusive relationship. In Proverbs 19:21, it says, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." God's timing comes with peace, not panic. Confusion is often the first sign that you're operating on your own timeline. And now we're going to talk about what waiting with God actually looks like. Waiting isn't passive, it's an active partnership with God. I finished The Battlefield of the Mind, and I think I mentioned this in one of my older videos, but she talks about patiently waiting on God. Because we could be waiting, but we could not be waiting patiently. And when we don't wait patiently for him, we're pretty much telling him, like, hey, we don't trust your judgment. We don't trust you, God. We don't know when you're going to give it to us. Like, when is this happening? Uh, and I know we don't say it like that, but like sometimes we think about it in a very similar way. Like, God, why isn't this happening? Like, we're questioning him, right? But waiting patiently on him is a whole different ball game. And every time I catch myself about to be like, oh, hi, I stop myself ever since I read that chapter in that book, and I'm like, no, God, I'm waiting patiently on you. I'm waiting patiently on you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. For example, Ruth didn't chase Boaz. She served faithfully where she was, and God orchestrated the timing. Here are 3 ways to wait well. Number 1 is worship while you wait. Thank God for what has already been promised. Gratitude keeps your heart aligned. Number 2 is work while you wait. Focus on becoming the woman ready for the blessing. That means healing, setting boundaries, and growing your gifts. God tells us in the Bible to be fruitful and multiply. And he is a God of multiplication. It's so important that in this season of waiting that you are proactive, that you work on yourself with God. He's there helping you develop into the woman to receive the blessing that he has for you. Whatever it is, whether it's a career, whether it's a home, whether it's a marriage, whatever that blessing is, he is preparing you for that. And number 3 is watch for confirmation, not convenience. God's blessings often come with confirmation through his word, peace in your spirit, and alignment with his character, not through comfort or shortcuts. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." In this last part, we're going to go over how to pray for alignment. When you're uncertain, shift your prayer from "when God" to "what are you building in me while I wait?" A great prayer to pray is, "Lord, I surrender my timeline to you. If this isn't from you, please remove my desire for it. Teach me to rest in your peace and not my pressure." God refines our desires while we wait, so when the blessing finally comes, we can handle it with wisdom. Psalm 138:8 says, "The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever." When it's God's timing, you'll feel peace even when it's slow. But when it's your timing, you'll feel pressure even when it's fast. Don't mistake movement for progress. Sometimes standing in obedience is the most powerful step forward. Thank you, ladies, for watching. It's always a pleasure to have you guys back every single week. I really hope this video helped you. And don't forget to check out my free 5-day self-worth reset devotional. I will link it down below. I want to remind you that God absolutely adores you. He loves you. He wants the best for you. And he knows what's in store for you in the future, and he is preparing you. If you are in a waiting season, if you are in a season where you're like, what is happening, like when is something going to happen, I can totally relate because I've been there. And just know that there is a purpose to his plan. He's not going to throw you in the water without knowing that you can swim. And that takes preparation, that takes time, that takes effort, and that takes you partnering up with God to co-create the version of you that is meant to steward the blessing that he has for you. I really hope that this gives you hope. I really hope that it gives you a different perspective on your waiting season, and also to remind you to wait patiently on him, but at the same time, do things in this season to prepare you to become that woman. I love you, ladies. I pray that God gives you his strength, that he gives you his confidence, that he pours healing all over you, and that he fills you with his divine peace that surpasses all knowledge and understanding. I love you, ladies. God absolutely loves you, and I hope you have the most amazing week. I will see you next time.